Epiphone DR-100 promises big dreadnought tone, comfort, and reliability at a price that makes your wallet breathe easy. Either we have finally reached budget acoustic nirvana, or we are staring down another beginner trap with pretty paint. On paper it sounds legit. Select spruce top, mahogany back and sides, slim taper neck, 25.5-inch scale, and classic dreadnought projection. But here is the thing, impressive specs can hide compromises. The tuners, the setup, the laminate top, that stuff matters. Here is what caught my attention and what did not. I bought the DR-100, lived with it, and put it through daily practice, mic tests, and setup tweaks for 2 weeks. I have put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after 2 weeks of testing. The DR-100 claims to be the ideal beginner acoustic. Loud, comfortable, stays in tune, and ready to play right out of the box. The core promises boil down to full dreadnought projection with a spruce and mahogany recipe, comfortable slim taper neck for easier fretting, stable tuning with quality covered tuners, great value at an entry-level price. Sounds solid, right? Pretty bold claims for this price bracket, but here is where things get interesting. Reality check. They claim full, rich projection from a spruce top with mahogany warmth. What you actually get is a laminate spruce top over laminate mahogany back and sides, which caps the dynamic range and airy resonance compared to solid top rivals. Here is why. Laminate reduces top vibration and sustain, especially at low volumes. Out of the box, my open G rang around 5 seconds to audible decay. After a setup and string swap, I got closer to 7 to 8 seconds. Improvement, yes, lush, piano-like bloom, not at this price. They claim it is beginner ready. What you actually get is a guitar that often needs a setup. Mine arrived with action at the 12th fret, measuring about 3.5 on the low E and just under 3.0 on the high E. That is playable for strumming but rough on new fingers and unforgiving for fingerstyle clarity. A quarter-turn truss adjustment and a slight saddle shave took it into the sweet zone. Roughly 2.5 low E and 2.0 high E. Without that work, many beginners will struggle and assume it is their fault. It is not. They claim stable tuning. What you actually get is covered tuners, likely around a 14:1 ratio with some backlash. New strings stretched, a touch of graphite in the nut slots, and proper winding solved most drift, but there is still a hair of slop when dialing in pitch. The nut and saddle materials are inexpensive, which increases friction at the nut and can ping during tuning. A low-cost new bone or bone upgrade turns this into a non-issue, but that is another cost. They imply solid craftsmanship and a lifetime of playing. Reality, quality control variance. Let's be real here. At this price you will see small finish blemishes, minor glue squeeze out, and depending on climate, sharp fret ends from dry conditions. My fretwork was mostly clean, but a couple ends needed a quick pass with a fret eraser. The bracing looks sturdy and the neck joint felt solid, but there is variability from unit to unit. Humidity matters, these ship dry. Keep a sound hole humidifier handy. Here is where it gets mathematically impossible. A full-size dreadnought with solid top, clean fretwork, high-ratio tuners, premium nut and saddle, and pro setup does not live at the low hundreds price point from a major brand. Something has to give, and on the DR-100 it is the top material, the hardware tier, and the factory setup time. The plot twist: none of this means it is bad, it means you need to calibrate expectations. In the hands of a beginner or strummer, this can sound bigger than its price, especially with fresh phosphor bronze 12s and a basic setup. If you chase nuanced overtones or delicate fingerstyle dynamics, you will notice the laminate ceiling. I dug through dozens of real buyer reports and teacher forums, and the pattern is consistent. People love the value, but the happiest owners either got a good setup out of the box or invested in one. Sound quality. Expect a classic dreadnought feel with a scooped mid character. The lows are present and a bit boxy right out of the box. The highs sit crisp but can get edgy with hard strumming. After setup and better strings, strumming sounds fuller and less congested. Flat picking cuts through in a mix. Fingerstyle is serviceable but not particularly airy. Compared to a Yamaha FG800, which has a solid spruce top, the DR-100 is warmer in the low mids but less dynamic and less responsive to a light touch. Build quality, gloss finish, simple rosette, single-ply binding, black pickguard, and a comfortable slim taper neck. The neck profile is friendly for small to medium hands, and the 1.69-inch nut is fine for chords but slightly cramped for fingerstyle spreads. Hardware is basic, expect plastic nut and saddle. Laminated construction is durable and less fussy about climate swings, but it is also the reason the tone plateau exists. Watch for fret sprout in dry rooms and keep it humidified. Playability, out-of-the-box action runs high on many units. A truss tweak and saddle sanding transform the experience. The 25.5-inch scale means slightly higher string tension than some shorter scale acoustics, translating to a snappier feel but a bit more finger effort. With 12-gauge phosphor bronze, it feels balanced. 11s are easier but lose some body. Value and alternatives. This is where the DR-100 earns its reputation. For basic strumming, songwriting, and lessons, it delivers a lot for the money. But if you can stretch a bit, a solid top option like the Yamaha FG800 or the Orangewood Oliver opens up more headroom and nuance. If your budget is tight, a used market solid top might beat both. Also, beware bundle listings with no-name accessories priced higher than the standalone guitar. That is not upgrading, that is expensive confusion. User experiences mirror my results. Many report it holding tune after break-in, sounding good with new strings and being a reliable practice companion. The most common complaints are high action and occasional buzz or rough frets before setup. Recommendation: buy with caution. If your budget sits in the low hundreds and you are mainly strumming or learning chords, the DR-100 is a dependable starter as long as you factor in a basic setup and fresh strings. Pros: durable laminate build, comfortable neck, classic dreadnought vibe, and strong brand support. Cons: variable factory setup, basic hardware, limited dynamic nuance versus solid top competitors. If you can spend a bit more, the jump to a solid top like the FG800 is audible. If you stick with the DR-100, plan a setup and consider a nut or saddle upgrade. Worth it if you want an affordable, reliable first acoustic. Skip it if you crave rich overtones and fingerstyle sensitivity right away. Stay savage out there. Thanks for watching. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I have put the link to check current pricing and read more reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you extra. Got questions about setup, string gauges, or alternatives? Drop them in the comments. Next up, I am putting a budget solid top against a mid-tier laminate in a blind test you will not want to miss. Subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you in the next one. Keep your ears sharp and your wallet smarter.